Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone is doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine on this lovely Thursday afternoon where I am, guys. I hope everyone is okay and enjoying the elements and not getting too stressed out and worrying too much. We don't want that, do we? It's all about Chatterbox. We're about to let loose and just enjoy ourselves, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Please, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Manchester United, the goalkeeper situation. Emi Martinez has given a rallying cry. Come and get me, Manchester United. I want to play for Manchester United. We don't mind Emi Martinez. I'm a big fan of Emi Martinez. Is he my first choice goalkeeper? Absolutely not. Certainly not for 40 million euros, guys. That is a little bit too much in regards to a 33-year-old player. Of course, people will throw at me. Of course, they're going to throw at me. Oh, but Sal, we signed Van der Sar on 34 years old. We signed Van der Sar. He was 34 years old. Van der Sar cost 2 million. Van der Sar was an absolute dynamo in goal. I like Emi Martinez. Emi Martinez is a match winner. He has bozo moments. I mean, we're a little bit tired of the little bozo moments there, isn't it, with Onana? But Emi Martinez is a World Cup winner. And in the big matches, in regards to leadership, he can single-handedly win you games. Onana single-handedly can lose you games, you know, and that's what I would say about that. Emi Martinez is not my first choice. There's a whole load of goalkeepers that I would like in regards to the long term. When I think about the long term, I'm not only thinking about a short term, I'm thinking about the long term situation in regards to Manchester United. I want a goalkeeper that's going to be a mainstay in our between the sticks for a while, not just for one season, guys. Absolutely not. And the rallying cry from Emi Martinez is, you know, look, you know, we can't do this deal at the moment. I don't think Man United can do this deal at the moment. I think Man United got far too many more pressing issues going on in regards to the attack. News about Embremo, as I said this morning, Embremo will be a Manchester United player. We're finalizing the deal. It should be any time, guys. This week, next week, early next week should be done. The deal should be done with Embremo, guys. Embremo is a Manchester United player in my eyes. I've said that for many weeks. He has accepted personal terms, and once a player accepts personal terms, then you know what, the inevitable is going to happen. But in regards to the goalkeeper, Man United do need a goalkeeper. I know a lot of people say we don't. There are some people say we don't, but we do need a goalkeeper. We get the striker and the attackers. We should move straight to the goalkeeper, because when I think about last season and I think about what happened last season in regards to mistakes, when we're in games, then we get taken out of games because when you needed him, he let us down. He seldom let us down, guys. Onana did. And not least in the Europa League final, when he should have really saved that. It wasn't always fault. Bruno gave away the ball. Shaw should have been covering his man. But Onana let in an easy goal, a simple goal, in my opinion. And to be honest with you, it was a disappointing goal to concede. And we probably would have went on to win that Europa League had that goal not been conceded. Obviously, it's all hindsight now. You know, we can't really moan, we can't really cry about it now. It's over, it's gone, kaput. But what I would say is that a goalkeeper like Emi Martinez probably would have saved that goal. And, you know, that is the importance of having a good goalkeeper between the sticks. Probably 20 points a season. Of course, let's get into some of your comments, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're good. Good to see you. Tella Alakaderi is more of a line of a striker of United. Look at this summer. This is the striker Wilkos found, not Ossie, Gorkeres and Etege, who are all expensive. Big up, Yale. Mark, Emi made 100 saves, conceding 47 goals from Premier League 445, 2 more than expected. On 90 saves, conceded 44 expected. Emi is not an upgrade. But no, I would say, Mark, to counter that, now look at mistakes. Now look at mistakes. Look at mistakes leading to goals, right? And then you'll know your answer. Emi Martinez single-handedly won Argentina the World Cup, in my opinion, in the World Cup final. He's not my favorite. He's not my number one target. But what I would say is that we can't underestimate a player like Martinez, who has single-handedly won games in major competitions, you know? And what I would say is that Onana's not the worst goalkeeper in the world, but the mistakes he made, he's cost us. He cost us the Europa League. He cost us the Champions League a year ago, didn't he? You know, and this is the whole point. Goalkeepers show themselves when they have to show themselves. When you need them, they show themselves, you know? And I haven't seen anything from Onana to suggest that he's better than Martinez. You know, we can throw all the stats out, or what the eye test is what we see. It doesn't include the fact that Onana, the anxiety and the indecisiveness that he creates in regards to our defense and our team all round is also astronomical and one of the most intense in the league. We've all seen it. We've all seen the ball come into the defense and then they got a chance to pass it or let the ball go to Onana and then he end up kicking it back. Is Martinez my first choice? As I said, he's not my first choice. Absolutely not. But what I would say is that he's a good player. He's a good player in regards to better than Onana. Absolutely better. Steve. Big up, Steve. How you doing? Long time. Notice things have gone quiet, particularly about our midfield for United. Any new news, Sal? Yeah, in regards to the midfield, nothing to write home about at the moment. You know, Man United need a new midfielder. I don't think Man United are going to get a midfield this summer from what I'm hearing at the moment. That could all change, of course, Steve. But at the moment, Man United are just about to conclude the deal for Bremo, and Bremo should be announced very, very soon. And then we're going to move on to the striker. And after we move to the striker, what I'm hearing, we're going to move on to the goalkeeper. So I don't think we're going to be looking at the midfield as much as we should be looking at midfield. And it's important that Man United look at midfield. But I don't think we're going to get everything done this summer. As Ruben Amorim has already clarified, he won't get everything done this summer. A lot of the work will be done in the next windows and the next windows. Now, that's why I get frustrated, because obviously I want to win the league. I want to challenge for the league. I'm a Man United fan. I want to win leagues. I want to win Champions League. I want to qualify for Champions League, etc. You know, but when we're talking about 2028 and we're not addressing certain issues in our football team, then it becomes a little bit of an issue, isn't it? You know, because I can't see us winning league titles and etc. in 2028 if we carry on being loyal to certain players that have let us down. You know, I would say absolutely. Big up, Steve. Natty, good afternoon, Sal. As long as Onana is here, we can get Martinez. Big up, Bill. We have to sell him. Yeah. Hi, Sal. Can't stand Emmy. It spells of desperation to me. 40 million, you're having a laugh. At the end of the day, Bill, 40 million is way over the mark. I like Martinez as a goalkeeper, but I don't think 40 million. This is the biggest situation I have with it. Emmy Martinez will be a 20 million goalkeeper at the most, in my opinion. He's a very good goalkeeper. I'm not going to throw it away. I know, but I don't think Man United are quite in for the goalkeeper at the moment. As much as we need a goalkeeper, Man United are not in for a goalkeeper at the moment. Man United are concentrating on the attack at the moment, so the front three. So that's what we're looking at the moment. Then, obviously, after Bremo walks through the door, if it's inevitable, we're gonna go after the striker. Will we have enough time to go after the goalkeeper, to go after a right wing back, to go after a midfielder, which we need as well? Ultimately, we need that as well. But I just don't think Man United are going to do the deal. We're going to act quick enough to do this, and we're not going to have the funds to do this. As I've heard, Ornstein also clarified is that once Man United do get Bremo through the door, it is now time to sell a player, because at the moment we have not sold any players, or the players that have not left yet. We've still got Shaw, we've still got Sancho, we've still got Rashford, we still got all these number of players, Mason Mount, of course, that need to be leaving the football club, but they're going to be, at the moment, they're still at the football club, and we need money as well, you know. Natty, we have to get the midfield in. It's frightening if we do not. Big up, Natty. Big up. Who do you prefer, Costa or Martinez? Got Martinez, mate, for me. Remember the Galatasaray game, Sal? Onana cost us big time back then. That's what I decided Onana had to go. So, I mean, a long time ago, mate, that he wasn't a goalkeeper. There were many situations in that game against Galatasaray, Steve, that he could have redeemed himself. Every time we got ourselves into that game, every time we had an opportunity to go through, he made some stupid error, right? He done some stupid error. Every time we look like we might get into the game now, we might beat Galatasaray. He made a stupid error. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. And he kept making these mistakes. And yeah, he's not the goalkeeper that that is ultimately going to get to Man United to where they want to be. If Ineos want to win the league in 2028, as Omar Barada said, we're going to have a much better goalkeeper than Onana, in my opinion. Stephanie, good afternoon. How are you doing? United aren't stupid enough to sign a goalkeeper that is banned for 3 Premier League games next season. There you go. It's only 3 games, Stephanie. It's not that bad. It's not banned for 10. 15 million for Mateus will be solid. I say 15 million. I say 15, 20 million would be solid, Kelly. I think if we can get a goalkeeper of that ilk for that price, I'd be laughing all the way to the bank, to be honest with you. Absolutely. And to be honest with you, 40 million is... We ain't in a position to waste funds like that. Man United are not in a position to waste funds. You know, Man United are not in a position to spend 40 million on a goalkeeper that is 33 years old, ultimately, isn't he? You know, we need to be more smart of our money and more smart of our pennies, of course. Steve-O, In your honest opinion, Sal, do you think we might only get 3 players max transfer window? You know what I would say, Steve. My prediction is 3 or 4. I've said it from a long, long time ago. Man United will get 3 or 4 players through the door. If Man United manage to get 3 players up front and get the goalkeeper, I will be generally not satisfied, because I don't think we should be satisfied, because I think Man United need a lot of work needs to be done. We've got a lot of areas of that pitch that need to be fixed. Right wing back, midfield needs to be fixed. At minimum 1 or 2. In the midfield. I do believe that 3 or 4 Man United will probably just about squeeze through the door. Don't be surprised if Man United do grab on to a couple, not grab on, but do get a couple of more younger players as well through the door. A lot of other players have been linked with Manchester United, of course. The other Arsenal youth player has been linked. So don't be surprised if we get some youth players as well through the door as well. Absolutely, Steve. Now, guys, I want to speak briefly about the West Ham attacker, Mohamed Kudus. Now, Mohamed Kudus, he first came on our radar about a couple of years ago when Erik ten Hag was in charge of Man United. And, he impressed. And we were all saying that, we signed the wrong player. Do you remember when Anthony signed for Man United when he came from Ajax? And then when Kudus went to West Ham, people were saying, we signed the wrong player because Kudus was smashing it for West Ham, wasn't it? Now, look, what I would say about Kudus, he's extremely overpriced. He's 45 million euros market value, 2 years left on his contract, 24 years old, 42 caps for Ghana, 12 goals. What I would say is that I feel that in regards to Kudus, he had a poor season last season. He did. And he wasn't at that level that he was in the first season, which is why people were raving about him. I think if Man United managed to get Kudus and we use Kudus as a striker, which has been rumoured, I think we're in a little bit of trouble next season. I don't think that's the guy we should be going for. Man United, again, need a classic number 9, a guy who could put the ball into the back of the net, a traditional number 9, someone who can put that ball in the back of the net. That's what we need. And players like Kudus, if we're getting Mbeumo, we got Cunha, we got Bruno, we got these type of players. We don't need this type of players. We need warriors. We need players up front, goal scorers. That's what we need. And in regards to Kudus, it's going to cost an arm and a leg, probably go up to 55 million to 60 million. If we're lucky, so especially Premier League to Premier League, it's going to be expensive. Kudus, I would have said yes a couple of years ago when he was playing for West Ham and under, obviously Erik ten Hag knows him well. And we were, back then, and we were second guessing about Anthony and stuff like that. I would have said yes back then. But right now, I'm saying no on that deal. Absolutely not. And anyway, this deal, these rumors can also be a ploy to get people interested in him. Man United do use Man United. Other teams do use Man United's name quite intensively. They use our name, to try and add PR to their player. The agents of the player, they add PR to the player, and that is obviously annoying, but it's part of being the biggest club in the world, isn't it? One of the biggest clubs in the world, of course. So yeah, Kudus, it's a no for me. Mohamed Kudus, I don't want Mohamed Kudus. I think he's a good player, but I don't think it's what Man United need at the moment. I think Mbeumo and Cunha were the standout players last season in regards to the similar position of the pitch. I would go for them, and that is it. Yeah, and then I will concentrate on the striker and the goalkeeper, and then we move, of course. Dabby says, good afternoon. Hope you're well. Costa is a bit expensive than Martinez get released. One thing about say about Costa, I don't mind Costa. I really don't mind Costa. I keep thinking back to the game against Man United in the Europa League when it was 3-3. You remember the mistakes he made in that game? A little bit concerning, if you ask me. But anyone at the moment, in regards to top level football, is better than Onana. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be cruel on Onana. I like Onana. I think he's a great personality. I think he's great to have around the club, but I just don't think he's a good goalkeeper. I really don't. Absolutely. Yeah, it's only 3 games, Kenny. Calm your tits. We are bringing in a goalkeeper. United are speculating. Stop speculating and start. Stephanie, you've been around the block a long time. It's not United that are speculating. It's agents that are speculating, and we get the news from agents and journalists. That's what happens. Do you know what I mean? People get agents. It's not United that are speculating. It is agents that are speculating. Sometimes agents want to promote their own players. They want to add price tag onto their players. They want to sell that player. They want to get them out of the football club. So what they do, they speculate. That's what happens. Is it all facts? No. Is it all true? No. Is it all myth? No. Some of it is true. I would say in regards to when we're being linked to players, there is always an element of truth in regards to players, because you know what, Man United are linked to about 100 players at the moment. But you know what I would say is that Man United are looking at players. Are we interested in Kudus? Yes, we are. Being interested in Kudus for 1 year. In regards to a goalkeeper, are we interested in a goalkeeper? Yes, we are. We've been interested in a goalkeeper for a very long time, of course. Absolutely. Sanjeev, United hero keeper forgot. Selena Ronaldo, how are you today, you legend? Big up my friend Helge. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you. Of course. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, brother. Hope you've been had a good day and dealing with the elements, my friend. Dealing with the elements. Absolutely. Stephen, one player in for the system is shocking, while City and Liverpool have 4 players in each. Ineos and Glazers out. Big up, Steve. I agree, mate. Man United need players, and Man United need players desperately as the time gets ticking. Man United in a unique position because we need more. We need more players than most teams, to be honest with you, because our ambition is higher. So we need more players than most positions need. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, and I would say that the outgoings, the ingoings need to be done, and we got loads of work that needs to be done, and we got nothing done at the moment. I think that Mbeumo would be the next one. That's pretty certain that's going to be, and I've said that for a long time, of course, guys. Mbeumo will be the next one, and then we need to move sharpest because the window, not the window, but the preseason opens on the 7th of July. The 7th of July is when the preseason opens. So what Man United have got to do? Man United got to act sharpest. Man United got to act quick and get these deals done, because I want the players in for the preseason. I want the start of next season. I want to be thinking to myself, oh, you know what? We're ready. Because over the last few years, we've been going into seasons. I'm thinking we're not really ready, are we? We haven't really got the team. The players just walk in midway through the season and stuff like that. It's a bit concerning, isn't it? Hopefully we do. Dabby's ass. We don't need that many, Stephen. We only need domestic competition this season. Remember, big up. Kudus, I think is very much United being used to gain interest in other clubs, and Bremer is the same position. Pointless to have him. I really love it and rate him, but pointless to sign now. Yeah. People were saying I was getting an intelligent comment held. Absolutely. I was saying this. People were saying that they want to use Kudus as a striker, and then I'm like, my goodness me, where are we going with this? Because Man United need a proper number 9. This is what we need: a proper number 9, not an attacker, a flair player, a pacey player. We don't need that anymore. We've been there, done that, worn the t-shirt. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, and I think that Man United needs a gunman, a striker up front, absolutely. And I think Kudus is clueless. You know what I mean? If we end up signing Kudus, absolutely. So there. Helge. It's the Eze link. He's number 10, where we have Cunha and Brent. This is the whole thing. What I think is happening here, Helge, I think that Man United are covering their backs. Basically, in regards to if we're linked to players, Man United are covering it, or the agents want more money for their players. And that's what I would say. So this news coming out, obviously, yesterday, day before yesterday, it's typical, isn't it? It's this time of year that you're going to get agents coming out and then the players are going to be linked to Man United. But we have to look at things logically, right? I report the news, but I want to look at things in an objective kind of way. We have to look at things in a logical kind of way, right? We have to look at the fact that, we've got Mbeumo, we've got Cunha, we've got Bruno, we've got other players in the youth as well. So do we really need another Kudus? Now, the news about Kudus coming to Man United as a striker, that scared the living daylights out of me. I was like, what? Come on, man. No more. We need more than that. We need a proper striker. Absolutely. And I don't want to be getting these West Ham rejects, of course. The Arsenal game would tell us more about Amron's system and if the midfield can cope. Big up, Bill. Absolutely. I really just think that need to get a striker in and then prioritize the goalkeeper and then prioritize the number 8. We have Bruno, Mainu, Ugarte in case we only need one more to have a good one to use in 2 positions. I want Mbeumo, mate. Mbeumo's a beast, mate. I want Mbeumo. I don't think Bruno's got it, mate. I really don't in that position. I think Mainu has been poor. Absolutely. I think it's just at the moment. I think we should prioritize a goalkeeper after Mbeumo and the striker. That's it. And I think that's about what we're going to do. I think we do need to prioritize other positions, but I don't think we're going to get that done this summer. Helge, agreed about your post regarding Kudus. Absolutely. It's amazing we do not ship a player like Onana who cost you the Europa League and knock us out of the Champions League. It's amazing, absolutely, why we don't get these deals done quickly. Absolutely. Held. Also, Amarim, poacher, strikers. He is also reluctant to use Xerxes as a number 9, who held of a lot more of a 9 than Kudus. Rumors are that Amarim would use Kudus as a number 9 is rubbish. Yeah, well, this is what we're hearing at the moment, Held. You know, this is what we're hearing. Do you prefer Martinez, our next goalkeeper? Not my favorite goalkeeper. Absolutely not, Joseph. Joseph, my favorite goalkeeper is different. I like Seni Lamens. I like them type of players. I like Milinkovic-Savic. I think he will be a good goalkeeper. Younger, going to be between the sticks for a much longer period of time rather than just getting an Emi Martinez who will be, a stopgap, if you know what I mean. Because obviously he's 33. I know that goalkeepers can go on to 40. I know that, but I just don't think he's got that character to be Man United's number 1. I think we need a more calmer goalkeeper, a goalkeeper with personality, but a goalkeeper doesn't cause havoc, if you know what I mean. So, big up, Miles. How you doing? Sadly, same story. Transfer-wise is only if the power owners, but whoever we get, I will back. God bless you, Sal. I love you, bro. Love your child. Thank you so much, Miles. Very nice comment. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. Very, very good to see you. Is Mohamed Kudus a striker, Sal? Yeah, he can play there, but he's not. But he's more like an Embremo type player, more of a winger, if you ask me. But Man United, he can play up front. So a lot of rumors going on that Man United might play without a striker next season and keep Kudus or something like that. So I think this is rubbish, in my opinion. I don't agree with this at all because I've always said that Man United needed number 9. Man United need a proper number 9, and that's where we should be looking at. Absolutely, definitely. Zayed. 40 million for Martinez is far too steep. 25 tops, I agree, Zayed, absolutely. My choice will be a good goalkeeper, Zayed, absolutely. You're not the only one. Plus, Martinez has too many bozo moments in him. Exactly. And this is one thing that I would say that not many people are mentioning about the Martinez bozo moment. They're not really mentioning about what the actual footballing side. That, I think that Martinez has a bozo moment in him. But I also think that Martinez has a good game in him. He's the thing with Martinez, he's capable of winning you a World Cup. Right, but he's also capable of losing you a silly game. Like for example, when he rushed out against Man United and done that silly foul, didn't he? Yeah, it is a double-edged sword with Martinez. But 40 million is too much anyway. Either way, 40 million is too much. I wouldn't want 40 million. No, absolutely not. Man United need to do better, and get someone a little bit more cheaper or get a cheaper deal. What will be the 10 out of 10 transfer to you? For you, 10 out of 10 is very difficult, Natty. For me, Osimhen or Gyökeres up front. Embremo, number 10. Cunha, number 10. Edison, Baleba or Wharton in midfield. Or both. All right, I'll say Baleba and Wharton. Vanderson as a right wing back. And as a goalkeeper, someone of the ilk of a Bruggen or a Milinkovic-Savic, someone like that. That'd probably be touching 10 for me because it'd be highly unexpected. It'd be highly unexpected. So that'd probably be touching 10 for me. You think we still can get goals as we do with Arsenal and so on? Sesko, it's up in the air at the moment, Zayed. One thing's for certain that obviously George Mendes is being involved with Gyökeres again, which is interesting because obviously George Mendes has a good record with Manchester United. So let's wait and see. George Mendes is also taking charge of Emi Martinez. So look, lots of things are going to happen this next couple of weeks. Hold your seats. Hold on to your seats. There will be some news coming out very, very soon. What's your dream realistic free signings? Realistically, my dream, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a dream, but Embremo, Cunha, Gyökeres, and Milinkovic-Savic, something like that. Or, how would I say it? Like Roma goalkeeper, like the guy said. Someone like that, of that ilk. Absolutely. Helge, I'd prefer a traffic cone as our next goalkeeper ahead of Onana. Also funny that Bayindir is the worst second goalkeeper I've seen. How's that possible? Andres Lindegaard would resemble Schmeichel in comparison. Oh my God. I mean, let's be fair on Bayindir. He did win us that FA Cup tie against Arsenal, didn't he? Saved a penalty and all that, and saved a couple of penalties. But yeah, not a very good backup goalkeeper in my opinion. Absolutely not. Manrik, what's going on, my friend? Are you doing well? 40 minutes too much because he's fair free. I agree with that, Manrik. This is the big issue with this. Absolutely. I'm not worried the fact that he's banned for 3 games. You know what I mean? That doesn't bother me, to be honest with you. We have got Vitek there, who is a very good goalkeeper as well. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, the price is too much for me. I think 40 million is is too much. Goalkeeper, big up Manrick, big up. Big shocker, but 10 out of 10 window is not similar to you. Is not similar to you, but exactly the same. Crazy how similar minds have been. Absolutely, Helge. Look, great minds think alike, don't they? Big up yourself. Absolutely. Thank you, Helge. Look, you know what's similar? It's similar to that. We all know what Man United need. It's pretty obvious what Man United need, what transfers we need to get through the door. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, a lot of players that need to leave, a lot of players that need to come in. Man United to get a 10 out of 10 window, I'll be absolutely jumping up and down, shaving my hair off and my eyebrows, you know what I mean, at this rate. If that happened, I don't think Man United would get a midfielder, another number 10, a striker, a right wing back, and a goalkeeper. I doubt that will happen in regards to players that are established, not young players, because you probably will get some young players through the door. Big up, Helge. Big up. Really worrying we're not linked to any midfielders. It is, look, at the end of the day, Zaid, Man United need midfielders, but as Ruben Amorim said, of course, that we're not going to get everything done all at once. So we're going to have to wait till the next transfer window. Then that begs the question, what are we doing? We want to win the league in 2028. So what are we doing? We really want to win the league in 2028. Then what's going on then? What are we doing? We need to move. Players need to leave. Players need to come in. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Big up, Bill. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I put Onana as a backup cornerback. Big up, Bill. Big up. Oh, there you go. They're all coming out. Sal, signing second and third choice, is it a problem? So sign second. It depends who it is, Datty. It depends who it is, to be honest with you. He'll find a way to fumble that as well. Oh, man, he's getting roasted. Did you see the Lakers got sold for 10 billion? Glazers are delusional if they think they can get near that for us if we're stuck where we are. The Glazers, the reason the Glazers got Ineos in the first place, over a 10-year period, they're going to make 10 million. They're going to make 10 billion over a 10-year period. And obviously the regeneration project stands them to make a lot of money, of course. So we have to remember that in regards to that, it is all about greed. It's nothing to do with football. If anyone tells you that it's to do with football, it's absolute lie. It's nothing to do with football. Absolutely not. It's about greed and money and filling up their pockets at the end of the day. That's what I would say about that. And we're in a little bit of curse. We're cursed with Ineos and the Glazers. We thought we had a respite. We thought we might get the opportunity to have the football club sold once and for all. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, Big up, Anshuman. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Good to see United Road, Anshuman. What do you think about Rio thinks Osman rejected Saudi because he wanted for United? I wouldn't trust anything that comes from Rio Ferdinand's mouth at the moment, guys, because obviously he did talk about the Qatar. Qatar is tomorrow, didn't he say? What did he say? Qatar is tomorrow, What I would say is that basically Rio Ferdinand, what did he say about Gyökeres? He's all physical. That's it. That tells you everything you need to know about his ball knowledge. You know what I mean? This guy is a great footballer, one of my favorite defenders of all time, one of them. And I just say that his opinion is social media driven. Click, like, baiting everyone to click his page and to subscribe to his channel and stuff like that. That's what it is at the end of the day. That is Rio Ferdinand to a T. Absolutely. Mark, why did Maguire criticize this guy? De Gea's got communication for his poor performances that have been renaissance in front of Onana. Look, when you watch goals back, right, Mark, I urge you to watch some goals back of Man United, and you see Luke Shaw and his positioning and some of the goals bumping into Harry Maguire and things like that. Remember that, isn't it? At the end of the day, look, David De Gea's communication wasn't the best. David De Gea's basically was a quiet guy. He was a quiet guy. He doesn't speak. He doesn't shout. He's not one of those characters. That's the biggest issue with David De Gea, in my opinion. He got away with it because he made some incredible saves, won 2 times Player of the Year, of course. He did. And to be honest with you, he got away with it because he's a great goalkeeper. But obviously, communication is key. And I think that is one of the reasons Man United wanted to offload David De Gea. Although he's a lot better than Onana, the thing is, you could want a goalkeeper to leave, but it depends who you replace that goalkeeper with. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Big up, Bill. Big up, Jengus. Jengus, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Helge, Rio was so amazing. Sorry, his general IQ, football knowledge, etc. at the level of a bar store. It's Rooney, and with coaching, he could relegate Real Madrid. Amazing players, but low IQ. That's what it is at the end of the day. Lack of education in regards to football. And when you look at things like in regards to football, we consume more football than them. We consume more football than them. We watch more football than them. They just analyze from a distance. They don't really watch it like we watch it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Yale, game over with Gyökeres. I had a message 24 hours ago suggesting that Victor Gyökeres has told his friends and family Alex Crook. We move on then, if that's the case. Yale, Alex Crook again. We move on again. We move on, to be honest with you. I don't care, to be honest, Yale. Move on. That's what we need to do. As I said from the beginning, Yale, if we don't get Gyökeres, if Gyökeres is giving us headaches, if he's giving us noise, we move on. That's what Man United need to do. Man United are no secret interested in Gyökeres. But if Gyökeres is giving us the runaround, we ain't even bid for him yet, by the way, then absolutely. Yeah, he's not tier one, Natty, absolutely. You have to take things with a pinch of salt. But, you know, I don't know if Alex Crook would lie about something like that, writing quotes, you writ quotes. Absolutely. There's more fish in the sea, mate, not water. Absolutely. Yeah, Yale, big up, big up. So what I would say is that, I believe that if a player's going to give Man United a run around, if a player's going to be giving Man United headaches, like Gyökeres is evidently giving Man United headaches, we just need to move on from it. Move on from it. Get to the next one. Next player, next player, next player. That's what we need to do. Not, we need to please come to... Forget it. Forget it. At the end of the day, I don't believe these quotes. I really don't. We heard about these quotes from the likes of Alex Crook about how he wants to go to Arsenal and things like that, but they weren't true. We knew that they weren't true. We questioned them at the time. That is just obviously coming from his agent and stuff. So we have to be careful as well what we believe and what we don't believe. So I tend to look at things from above, a bird's eye view, of course. Scholes, instant story after seeing Eze play 15 good minutes for England. We need to sign him to play. Ex-players are amazing players, but most of them are knobheads sucking and the daughter's toe. Okay, you remember that? Big up, Helge. Scholes, one of my favourite players, though. Absolutely. I meant Onana should get at least some credit for Maguire's personal improvement. No. He made Maguire's game worse, mate, not improvement. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He deserves no praise for that. Did you see that clip, guys? Guys, I've heard it all. Mark, come on, man. Did you see that clip where basically Maguire kicked it out of the basically kicked it out of the ground, right? Because Onana was like indecisive. I've heard very, very reliable sources, and I'm not one person to expose anyone, right? I've heard very, very big people connected to Man United that the defense, the whole defense, I'm not going to name who, basically feel uneasy with Maguire, with Onana in goal. I'll leave it at that. Leave him. He is not Cristiano Ronaldo. Big up, Natty. Mark Robin, get in the bin. My goodness. You made my day, though. I laughed out loud. My goodness me. Oh, God. Absolutely not. My goodness. I don't know whether he's being serious. Mark Ransomman, are you being serious, mate? Are you trying to have a bubble, mate? Are you having a laugh? This is Chatterbox. You can joke, mate. You can't let me out. Goodness me. Sign Eze to playing Cunningham and Scholes is nuts. Jengus. They don't think before they speak, do they, Jengus? You know, they don't speak. The only thing I could think, right, in regards to an analogy like that, is that they want to play Cunha up front or Mbeumo up front. And we all know that we don't want to place square pegs in round holes again, do we? We don't want any of that. You know, we don't want square pegs in round holes, you know, at the end of the day. We want players to play in their positions. We want specialized players in those positions. We don't want anything more, anything less, of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, look, you know what? We've been doing that for years, haven't we? Putting players, left backs, right backs, left backs, players playing in midfield, players playing up front. We've been doing that for too long now. We just need to concentrate on players in that position. Natty, I think these ex-players talk for the sake of talking. Look, one thing I would say, and I would say this very, very clearly, right? A lot of these players are run by media companies. In Scholes' case, Gary Neville's case, Jamie Carragher's case, and all those guys' case, they're run by Sky B, which is Sky Sports. So Sky Sports, over the years, have a problem with Man United. God knows only why, because Man United put Sky Sports on the map, basically. So a lot of these guys are employed by Sky Sports, Sky B, stuff like that. That's why they're always sponsored by Sky Bet and things like that, you know? And that's why they're doing it. They're told to do these kind of things. They're probably told not to praise Man United. Don't big up Man United too much. Don't give in to Man United too much. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. got to think about that. Helge, I don't think they have thought that long. Remember, the last 4 or 5 years, the manager Scholes has been repeating. It's Diego, Simeone, and Conte. I would rather put a fork in my eye than those two. Absolutely, Helge. And it just shows you where we are. Look, at the end of the day, they played under Alex Ferguson. I mean, and then none of them succeeded as being a manager. If they're so good, why didn't they become a great manager then? You know? Jengus, Eze Ship has sailed. We need a keeper and midfielder, right wing centre back, and a striker bare minimum. I don't think a centre back. I'm pretty happy with our centre backs. If we can get a right wing back, if we can get someone like that, look. We need a striker, we need a keeper, we need a right wing back. If we can get that, I will sacrifice the centre back. I know we need one more, but I will sacrifice the centre back, Jengus, because we got obviously De Ligt, Maguire, Yoro, Mazrui, Aiden Heaven, and Leacher. That's 5 right there for 3 positions, right? And then obviously we got Fredrickson there, who I don't think's ready, needs a loan and stuff like that. So we need another. We do need another one, but I don't think we're going to get down to it. Of course. Also, Scholes hates 3 at the back and says that it's not United at the same time. He has been begging about wanting Conte to come. It's so funny. Contradictions everywhere, isn't it, Helge? Contradictions everywhere. I mean, Conte is the epitome of 3 at the back. He just don't like Amorim. He just needs to say it. He just don't like Amorim. Some of them just don't like Amorim. You know what I mean? That is what it is. I thought we had nearly put up a team for Sal, but we only had one buy, and that was for Bruno. Absolutely. I was serious. Maguire awful with De Gea, but he's played well with Onana. I don't know why, but it's true. I wouldn't say well. I would say he's been good up front. Played well up front. He's played normal Maguire, bozo moments, and that's it. I think he's been all right. That's about it. I don't think anything of it. I don't. You can also argue that Maguire plays well for England and played very well for England. But you know what? Plays badly for Man United, and that's you've been all the analogies, definitely not to do with Onana. He's the last person you're going to think about, Onana. I don't think he's been that much better or that much good. Can't listen to these pundits, ex-players anymore. They don't live in reality, all bought and paid for. Absolutely. Yale. It sounds like neither United nor Chelsea are interested in Ekatike. Is Frankfurt trying to bid up? I told you from the start, guys. I didn't need Ben Jacobs for that. I told you from the start. This could be a ploy to get more money for him, to get people talking about him, and obviously trying to get a move out of the football club, to get a new move for him. Absolutely. Yes, exactly, Sal. We can't do everything in this window. We're not going to do everything. Yeah, we need it. No doubt about it, Jengas, but I just can't see us doing everything. To satisfy, if I was to say on a realistic level, what would satisfy me? What window would satisfy me? It would be Bremo, Cunha, a striker, and a goalkeeper. If they done that, even then I would be astonished. Even then I'll be astonished by this ownership. I'll be like, what? You know what I mean? They've done that? What? Madness. Good news. Alejandro wants Chicho and Chelsea, but only for 62 million. They got to pay up then. They got to pay up. Respect to Harry Maguire. Proves that. One thing about Harry Maguire. Let me tell you about Harry Maguire, right? He didn't resort to Twitter insults. He didn't resort to pettiness. He got on with it. He put his head down and he worked hard. That's why Maguire improved. He put his head down and he worked hard, right? There's nothing to Onana. He done everything he possibly could. But good analogy. Do you share the same opinion as me on Maguire? So I don't understand the resurrection mentality, Monster Maguire angle to go from 2 out of 10 to 5 out of 10. It's not a beast mentality. What I would say is that he had indecisiveness about his contract, Helge. His contract was a problem. He ended up getting a new contract, which obviously in turn made him more relaxed, didn't it? That could be the issue. I don't think it was that bad, like 2 out of 10 for 2 years. I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration, Helge. But I think that he's been average. I think he's been okay. I think De Ligt has been better. But I think that he wanted a new contract. And that's all I can say, and basically improved his game. Also, one thing is very, very important, Helge. Let me say this very clearly, right? Let me tell you very, very clearly. Harry Maguire has always played well in a back three. Harry Maguire has always played well in the back three, even for England under Gareth Southgate when we were playing back three. He's played well. He plays well in the back three. There you go, guys. There you go. Formations assistant Sal Scholes is a legend, but he talks a lot of waffle. You know, yeah. Look, there's a reason, Jengus, that Paul Scholes, when he was during his playing days, you'll know this. During his playing days, he didn't really talk about it, did he? At the end of the day, you know, and he didn't really talk to the media, did he? He was very quiet. Funny how he's all of a sudden got a voice now. Weird, isn't it? Natty. So we have no money. Why did they fight strikers before anything? We do have money, mate. I've said it. We got money. Don't worry. Lucky, I hope so. We need Garnacho funds to reinvest. Absolutely. I was Maguire in 2 years ago, and Maguire we need the free forwards. So I'm not that bothered about Onana this year. I am. I think everyone should be bothered about him because he makes mistakes, Mark. A lot of mistakes. When the game is tight, we're not going to win every game 4-0. When the game is tight and it's 1-0, Onana seldom let you down. And he has done many, many times, you know, at the end of the day. He has done many, many times. He lets us down. I don't actually mean to attend, but you get me. He was shit. Maguire has been good for a low block, Leicester, counter-attack, low block, England, low block. Amram free at the back, not a top player, centre-back. Yeah, he's good at free at the back, Helge. He's good at free at the back. He's not, for me, the defender that we should be looking forward to. He's a backup defender. Delict will be defender next year. Aiden Heaven, Euro, of course. We got enough there to cover that. I think Maguire will be the backup centre-back next year. But I don't think that has been the problem of Man United. The problem of Man United has been the front. They haven't been scoring goals. And then, obviously, when you don't score goals, the goalkeeper's mistakes get highlighted a lot more. Unfortunately, Onana's cost us around 20 points last season. We would have been way up the league if we didn't, of course. Jengus. Maguire has behaved professionally, never cried when benched, got to work. He's a good squad option for another season. Excellent in the air. Absolutely, Jengus. And also the captaincy got taken away from him, didn't it, Jengus? And he didn't cry about it, of course. The biggest problem of the team is Onana and striker. I agree, Natty. Spot on. When Ole tried to Varane Ronaldo a season to move up the line, he was awful. Ten Hag high line, he was awful. Amram says Maguire is the best round in box to box, and not with spaces in behind. I don't rate him. At the end of the day, you know, I don't rate him either, Helge. But he's a good squad player, and he will be a good squad player for now. At the end of the day, you know, he's better than Lindelof in my opinion. Lindesoft, he's better than him. You know, I would say that, but he's not going to be the first team goal. Hopefully, he's not going to be the first team player, of course, Helge. He's not going to be the first team defender. You know, I don't think he's improved. I don't think any of this. I think he's playing in the back three, which gives him more protection. I think that. And I just feel like that, you know, he's a backup defender, and that's all I can say about it. Is he the best backup defender in the world? Probably not, but he's useful in the air. As we say, we can bring him on in the last few minutes. Got us through against Lyon, which is more than I can say about a lot of those bloody players in the team at the moment. You know what I mean? Man United's best defence for me, Lenny Yoro, Delict, Mazraoui, or Hayden Heaven, someone like that. Of course, Helge. But I get 100% in the squad, back up in the defence. I think he's a good to have around the squad, absolutely. And then we move on. At the moment, what I would say is that it's not like we don't need to replace Maguire, because we do. The problem is that we ain't got enough time and money, apparently. But I'm going to say time, guys. I'm going to say time. I don't think we got enough time to replace every single player, because I just don't think we're working quick enough. You know, we're not working on the level of Liverpool and Arsenal and stuff like that, Man City, which we need to do, because we're in a unique position where we came 15th and we need players in, we need players out and stuff like that, you know? Absolutely. Absolutely, Lucky Singh. Absolutely. And he's not going to cry anything. You need players like that. You do need players like that. Also, I don't want anyone to delay the progress of Fredrickson, of Lenny Yoro, of Aiden Heaven, and players like that as well. You know, I don't want their development being hampered, you know, because we have got some very good young players in our squad, you know, in particular in the defence. You know, obviously I was talking about Kalungi. I think Kalungi needs a loan. We're talking about that. We've also got Lenny Yoro, who's young. Aiden Heaven, who's young. Of course, Mazraoui's not old. You know, so we've got quite a lot of players there that I want to be given more opportunities to. You know, I think Maguire has had his opportunity. I would add, I think Maguire has had his opportunity, and I think that Maguire now, I think, needs to leave now. I think, absolutely. Absolutely. But Maguire's got one more year, and we'd have to wait and see. But one thing about professionalism, you know, professionalism is 100%. You know, and I would give him that. But is he a talented, is he a world-class defender? No, he's not. Helge, I would love us to freeze out Casemiro and put him in the under 21. Not anything personal, but I just to try to force him out. I want a midfielder to be Bruno, Mainu, Ugarte, Kone, Collier, one new centre. Look, you know what? One thing I would say is that the problem with Casemiro is that no one's going to go after him on the 370 grand wages. That's the biggest issue that we're having at the moment is his wages. You know, no one wants to pay that much. Otherwise, he would have went to Saudi Arabia. Even Saudi Arabia don't want to pay that much money. The thing with Casemiro, look, you know, he's a very experienced player, but I just think he's too slow. I think he's too slow for certain games. He may be good in the odd European game. And I'll give you an example, right? When the game against Lyon, right? The game against Lyon, when he crossed the ball for Maguire, right? That game, that was experience there because someone like Bruno would have shot, you know? He would have shot the ball. I think that he's good. But I think that, you know, he's just not fit enough for the Premier League anymore, in my humblest of opinion. But I like him as a man. I respect him. But yeah, as I said in one of the videos I did a couple of days ago, we hang on to players too long. We do. We tie them. And the problem we're doing is that we're not only hanging on to players too long, the wages that we have been given, and it's nothing to do with Amorim, it's nothing to do with Ineos, to be honest. It is to do with Murtough and Woodward. We give these players this astronomical wages that you're like, you're not going anywhere. We're going to slap down 4K on your ass. You know what I mean? And that's what they do, you know, and it's hard to get rid of them. And especially on long-term contracts as well. Do you know what I mean? Jengus, I remember Rashford told Maguire to F off when he tried telling Rashford to pull his weight on the pitch. Maguire had an impossible job as captain with toxicity like that from Rashford. Exactly. Look, you know what? Sometimes watching Maguire is like watching Bambi on ice. I know that. Sometimes he makes mistakes. Sometimes, you know, he's not the player that, you know, is going to take us forward to the promised land that we need to be. But as a professional, as a captain, he knows what he's doing. And he told Rashford, and Rashford told him, obviously, to F off. And that shows you where Rashford is as a player. That ain't the first time a player has told one of a member of staff at Man United to F off, by the way. You know, that has been happening too often. And that is when we talk about the culture at the football club. This culture where you're given the right to tell a player, your captain, to fuck off, basically, is wrong. You know, and that's what I'm talking about. You know, this player, like a player is trying to help you. If he tells you to, come on, mate, do this, do that, he's trying to help you, mate. He's trying to help you. He's trying to help you become a better player. Helge, no, but if Chelsea did that with Casemiro, he would never trained one whole year with our under-21s. He would have done anything to get a move. That's how other clubs move. Helge, that's why clubs freeze out players, because if they go 1 year without football, we used to be like that, Helge. We used to be like that, Helge, but we're run by a different entity now. We're run by people who look at players as assets. We're run by people who look at players as money. That's the difference between then and now, and Chelsea and us. We look at players like, oh, he's getting 350 grand. You know, it's a bit like this, right? It's a bit like having a car on your drive, buying two cars, right? One of the cars costs a lot in insurance, you know, a lot in petrol. You know, you have to maintain it. You have to pay for it every single year, every single week. You're paying for it, but you don't drive it. You know, that is how Ineos see players like Casemiro on astronomical wages. It's an asset. We need to at least get someone to drive it. You know, we need it. Expensive. You know, that's how they look at things, unfortunately. We shouldn't be run like that, but we are, unfortunately. Do you know what I mean? Casemiro is going to mop up wages as long as he remains fit. Yeah, until his contract runs out. Absolutely. Natty, we are an example of doing unfortunately, we are not, with the owners. Absolutely. It boils down to the owners at the end of the day, the way they want to run a football club. As I said, they want to look at footballers like assets and money. That's what these players have dollar signs or pound signs on their forehead. You know what I mean? This is what they see, you know, and how much is he getting? How much is he getting a week? How much? Oh, no. You have to play him. You have to play him at least that many times a season, of course. Sal, do you think the toxicity started with Martial and Pogba? Let me think. I think the toxicity started when Alex Ferguson left, Bill. I think the standards dropped. I think from that moment, when Alex Ferguson left the football club, I personally believe that many of those players chilled. They relaxed. They thought, that's it. You know what? Alex Ferguson's gone. We go down. And I think that's when the standards started to drop. And then obviously when the standards dropped, we brought in players like Martial, we brought in players like Pogba and stuff like that. And because of the relaxed attitude at Man United, which we created after Alex Ferguson, players relaxed. We had players like Lingard, Pogba, Martial, at the football club. And now, even now, to this day, we still got players like Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, who, when the going gets tough, when they feel like not playing, they say, just pretend you're injured. We got that. And this is the problem at Man United. And this is why I keep banging on about culture at the football club. The culture has been destroyed at the football club ever since Alex Ferguson left the football club. And that's what I would say about that. But Pogba and Martial did not help. They elevated it. 100%, it's all about numbers. It's not about the performance and football. So I know why it don't happen. It's just sad how simple it is to remove all the deadwood that just don't want to do it. Absolutely, man. It's hard, mate. It's hard. And this is one thing. I know that this is the thing. Right, look, guys, people say, well, this is not Ineos's fault. This is not Jim Ratcliffe's fault. This is not their fault. Now, let me get this clear, right? It is. And I'll tell you why. Because we would have had a full sale. And when we had a full sale, we would have got rid of all those players. We would have paid off their contracts. They would have been out the door. That would have been that. Dusted, all got done. We would have got rid of them. Absolutely. And but now we're obviously got the penny pinchers, and we're incapable of getting rid of. We're incapable of getting rid of Luke Shaw. We're incapable of getting rid of Casemiro, and we're incapable of getting any player that doesn't wear the shirt with pride. And that is to do with finance, and it's all down to money. Unfortunately, why are we taking so long with Bremo? If this was Liverpool, if this was City, if this was Chelsea, it would have been done by now. It's money. Cengiz. Freezing out 300k a week is not so simple, unfortunately. These are Woodward mistakes. These crazy contracts are hopefully... This is the problem, Cengiz, because they're seen as assets. They're seen as assets. And you know what? These players will carry on playing in the first team squad. It's going to be difficult to get rid of them. Very difficult. Like I said, we're told to go Newcastle. Chelsea will sort out 62 million. Garnacho, if we gave away Rashford and Sancho, we would save 62 million in wages, but we are trying to sell them for 65, 25, 40. The problem is basically, if you give away players, it affects FFP and PSR. That's what it does. So a player like, for example, Onana. A player like Onana needs to leave for 27 million to comply with PSR and FFP regulations. So that's what needs to happen. A player like Rasmus would have to leave for 42 million to comply with FFP PSR. Otherwise, we get a huge loss on the PSR. And obviously, they're thinking about that. Now, guys, before we say anything, I'm not a big fan of PSR. People know that. I think we should override it. I think that the way that Man City have manipulated the rules, I think Man United need to just do the same. I think that we should just say, F PSR, we'll take the hit. If the hit comes, forget PSR, and we move on. You know what I mean? I would say. But they seem incapable. They just want to go by the book or because it's convenient on a financial level. Helge, after Alex Ferguson left, the big players took over the room and decided they didn't like the training. They decided the manager should go. New young players saw this and it swallowed by debt. But the problem with David Moyes, Helge, David Moyes walked into that dressing room and started showing them videotapes of Everton. Now, when you walk into a dressing room full of champions, full of winners, you need to be careful. You need to be, you can't change too much, in my opinion, right? David Moyes walked in, he got rid of the whole backroom staff, number one. Then he started comparing Man United players to Everton. So one day during a meeting, a team meeting, David Moyes started showing the team videos of Everton. In particular, Phil Jagielka, right? It was showing videotapes. This is an exclusive for you guys. I know some of you have heard it. I've said it before. But this is an exclusive. So he started showing videotapes of Jagielka and things like that. So one of the players in Man United said, yes, but what have they won? To David Moyes. So David Moyes stuttered. He didn't know what to say. Then another player said, David, what have you won? 10 ways to lose the dressing room. They lost the dressing room there. Is it fair on David Moyes? Probably not. But David Moyes did it himself as well. And what I would say is that from the beginning, from the get-go, David Moyes was the wrong appointment. What Man United needed when Alex Ferguson left, what Man United needed, they needed a Jose Mourinho, a Jurgen Klopp, a Pep Guardiola, They needed someone just to easily come into that dressing room. That's what they needed. And maybe, I mean, the butterfly effect and all that. Maybe if we brought them players into the team, into the squad, the managers if those managers in, maybe would be in a very different position now. Because I believe that the downfall of Man United started then. It was that cutoff point where we got it wrong in that time. We got it wrong. Sir Alex Ferguson, I respect him. I love him. He's given me the biggest moments as a Man United fan I've ever seen. But Sir Alex Ferguson was never, invincible in regards to his opinions. Right? Roy Keane will tell you that. I don't think we should have put all the eggs in one basket in regards to deciding what the next manager should be in regards to David Moyes. It should have been a collective. Yes, Alex Ferguson has a big voice, but we all know Alex Ferguson wanted David Moyes because he's Scottish. You know what I mean? And that was it. And we have to be real with that. It should have been considered, but Man United should have got better, in my opinion. Ancelotti, someone like that even. Helge, it's like at work where no one is ever calling in sick. You never dare call in sick. But if it's a culture where Martial, exactly, mate. Exactly. I'll give you an example, Helge. When I was working during COVID. Okay? I was working during COVID. And guys, everyone was getting COVID. Everyone was sick. Suddenly, everyone's got COVID. And everyone's taking time off and stuff like that and weeks off work and stuff. It's contagious. Just like COVID, it's contagious. And all these people, it is a representation. It's a very good analogy, Helge, because it is. You are what you are. Any workplace, it's the same thing. If this guy is coming in late, this guy is not doing his job well, you're going to do the same eventually. Once you've been there a while, you're going to go, don't do that. Just relax. You know what I mean? Sit down at the back. Don't worry. And stuff like that. And I've been there, Helge, absolutely. Big up LT, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Good to see you. Big up Sal. Until the Deadwood with higher wages and bad attitudes leave the club and have only bad players who are professional and give their best on the pitch, we was going to struggle. Big up LT, spot on as usual, my guy. Absolutely. Jenga's player power setting instantly after Ferguson left. Woodward and co couldn't help, though, signing mercenaries with big names. No long-term vision. It started from the hierarchy who had no footballing idea. Jenga's exactly that. Exactly that. And when you look at Man United, when we got David Moyes, there was never one clear direction, When we had Alex Ferguson, we always had a direction. I'll give you an example, right? We played 4-4-2. Right, we always had that false number 9, So, for example, if it was Cantona, whether it was Dwight York, whether it was Wayne Rooney, whether it was Dimitar Berbatov, we always had that kind of false number 9, or similar players, wingers who could run and stuff like that, wingers who could cross. We always had a direction, the way we wanted to play, the way we wanted to be. When Alex Ferguson left, we never had a direction. We had, David Moyes is one type of manager. Then we had Louis van Gaal. He's completely the other type of manager. Then after Louis van Gaal, we had, who did we have? Jose Mourinho, a completely different type of manager. Again, then we had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, an experienced manager. Then we had Ralf Rangnick, another different manager. Then we had Erik ten Hag, another different manager, not forgetting Michael Carrick and Ryan Giggs in between. All right. And then we had, obviously, Ruben Amorim, a completely different type of manager. There's no direction at Man United, and that is the biggest problem. This is why it's so important now. It's fundamentally important that Man United do now is basically stay in one direction, go one way. This is what we're doing. This is what we believe in. We're concentrating on this from the youth system all the way up. And any player that walks into this team will be specialized on that player. Just like Real Madrid do, just like Barcelona do. They do it to a T. They do it very well. Absolutely. Big up, Jengas. Sal, but also Sal left us with a rebuild and recommendations for David, a recommendation for David Moyes. Yeah, I would say this, right? Even if it was a rebuild, that team right there was good enough not to come 6th, 7th. They were champions comfortably a few months earlier. So a lot of those players down-tooled, Bill, You know it. They down-tooled. They comfortably won the league by, 10 points to Man City a year before? So my biggest bone I pick with it is how comes they went from comfortably winning the league to flattering to deceive the next season and having our worst season in years? I just don't get it. Big Big up Faisal. Hi, brother. How's things? Good. Thank you so much, brother. I hope you're doing well as well. Helge, I was speaking to a friend of mine yesterday about moving Deadwood. He's a Liverpool fan. He was shocked to hear that Lindelof was a Mourinho signing and couldn't believe Shaw and Martial were LVG. There you go, Helge, if you're going to talk about a problem at Man United, there you go. That's the problem right there. There you go. We have the problem there. And then people want to blame Ruben Amorim. People want to blame Ruben Amorim on players who down-tooled for years and years and years, over a decade. You know, and people want to blame Ruben. It's madness. Natty, specialized subscribe. Thank you. Dedications for the club. Big up, Natty. Much love to you, brother. Much love. Big up, Lucky Singh. Hope you're doing well. Glazers have now said Manchester United need to invest in new players. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big up, bro. Big up, everyone. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today. I really appreciate it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to put your notifications on as well. When I go live, you know, you would know. And also, please don't forget, you know, I might be live anytime because obviously it's the transfer window, guys. Have a great time. See you soon. If I don't see you tonight, I'll see you tomorrow for Breaking Dawn, guys. Have a good one. Take it easy and enjoy yourself. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox. Take it easy. Peace.